You can write some trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c as the product of two binomials. This factoring pattern that I like to call a times c splits your b is a cool way of using factors to change a trinomial into four terms so you can factor by grouping. So they have an example in the box here, but I would rather just take you into the first example together. So here we were trying to factor each expression, and we have a is 3, b is 16, and c is 5. So remember, the first thing I want to do is a times c, and those two numbers multiply to make 15. So if I think about 15, we want to see what factors of 15 add to make 16. So factors of 15 are 3 and 5, but those add to make 8, so that doesn't work. But we also have 15 and 1, and when we add those, we get 16, so that works. So that means we can split this middle term up to be 15x plus 1x, because that's still 16x, and then we bring down our first and last terms. Now that we have uncombined like terms, we have four terms, which we can now factor by grouping. My first group has a GCF of 3x. My second group has a GCF of 1. When I factor those out, we get a binomial GCF of x plus 5. And what's left over when we factor out that binomial are our GCFs, 3x plus 1. So let's continue on to number 3. Remember, this is our a, our b, our c. So a times c, if I multiply, I get negative 12. But we want to see which factors of negative 12 add to make 4. So negative 12, we have negative 12 and 1, 12 and negative 1, but neither one of those adds to make 4. We have 3 and negative 4, and negative 4 and 3, or positive 4 and negative 3, but neither of those adds to make 4. We also have 6 and negative 2, and negative 2 and 6, and this one doesn't add to 4, but these two terms too, two factors do. So keep in mind, you could do all of that in your head. So this middle term now is going to break to be 6w minus 2w, and then we bring down our first and last terms. So now we have four terms we can group. 2w factors out to leave 2w plus 3. A negative leading coefficient means a negative GCF. Our binomial GCF of 2w plus 3 factors out, and we're left with 2w minus 1 as our second binomial. So a times c splits your b.